What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning back in. Episode 2. I want to touch on a different type of topic today. I want to touch on emotions. Because as a man nowadays, I feel like everything a man does in nowadays time, we get criticized for it. We can't do anything for real. And a big thing I see people talking about nowadays are emotions. Men are so emotional. They're so sassy. They just whine. They act like females. Most of the time I hear that it comes from females. Now, personally, I used to be one of the people that say the men of today are a lot more emotional, which they are. They are. But not in the way a lot of people try to say. And this is what I want to let everybody understand. There are more than one emotion. Like, there's more than one. I don't get why everybody just act like there's one type of emotion. Like, if you pay attention, right, men of all times had emotions because you have to have emotions to be a human being, for one. Anger is an emotion. Trust is an emotion. Sadness, grief, happiness, joy, those are all emotions. If a man walks in the house every day smiling and happy, nobody will ever say he's emotional. They would just be like, he's a happy guy. I like him. In certain instances, if a person walks around angry all the time, he will still get accepted. Not usually by women, but by other men. Let me walk around fighting all day and getting in the shootout. They gonna say I'm the realest N-word ever. I'm the realest one. He be on that. He's standing on business, but that's emotions. To be honest, he can't control his emotions. That's a very emotional man. Somebody who always getting into drama, fighting and shooting and always have a problem. Usually they're very emotional. That's what an emotion is. But nobody criticizes that person. Maybe out of fear or maybe just out of not knowing or not putting it together. If I walk around smiling, telling jokes all day, technically I'm probably very emotional. I'm just showing a different emotion than the average person. But if, say, for instance, if I have a cousin and he walk around just sad, depressed all the time, I probably be like, man, this guy's emotional. He a crybaby. He's just so emotional. But if that same person walking around happy all the time, I probably would be happy for him. I would probably never judge him. And that's actually an error on my part because who am I to pick and choose what emotions a person can show? That's who am I to say that you can't be angry or sad or happy more than I would like you to be? And I just want to touch on that a little bit because I hate the fact that as men, mostly, we get judged a lot from it. Now, females do get judged from it as well, from men usually, but in a different way. Same concept, basically. She could be argumentative. She have real short fuse, hot hair. She always trying to argue and fight. Be like, man, this girl. But we don't really say emotional. We say crazy. Like, man, this girl's crazy. She irritating. You know what I mean? But if she walked around happy all day, you wouldn't hear nobody speak on it. And I'm really making a lot of these videos just to say, don't fall into the trap and get people to make you feel bad for being a certain type of way. I'm not saying that you're automatically right. You could be a little too angry. Shit, you literally could be a little too happy. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, it's not necessarily somebody's place to tell you how happy, sad, angry you should be unless it's causing harm to someone else. Usually that's anger. I rarely see somebody is happy causing harm to people. I mean, it happens, but it's not as common. And I just want to point that out. So you got to understand that to a certain extent, as long as it's not hurting anyone, who cares what anybody thinks? Let them call you sassy. Let them call you emotional. Because they don't understand that all these are emotions and they just pick and choose which ones they want to use. Now, on another note, I would like to touch on the fact that personally, I don't trust people who can't control their emotions. Personally. I can never trust anyone that can't control their emotions. I've seen a lot in my life and I noticed people who can't control their emotions, they're usually not trustworthy people because they switch like that. 1 second, they switch. 1 minute they love you, the best person ever. You make them angry one time, they snake you out. You make them angry one time, they switching up on you. They telling everybody how you a HOE person and you the worst person ever and all this. And you like, man, that's crazy. I was ready to give you my kidney. I'm the one who paid your rent when you was about to get evicted. I paid for your car to get fixed. I took you back and forth to work. How am I the bad guy? And growing up in the environment I grew up in, I seen a lot of people get snaked out by people that they were real close with like this, but they made them mad. And people who can't control their emotions, Can't trust him. You make that one person mad, he'll turn on you in a heartbeat. He ready to kill you. He ready to rob you. And you like, all I did was tell you no one time out of the 20 years I've known you. Females as well. I done seen females that love you so much, they ready to die for you, the best thing that ever happened to them, until you make them mad. That's they want to ruin your whole life. That's a lot of people that's been married. They ready to ruin your whole life. They want to take kids. They want to take your house, your car, your income. They taking everything. They want you to go to jail because they can't control themselves. Nowadays, I feel like I like the fact that we touch on a lot of topics that used to be taboo back in the day, because people really didn't speak on emotions back in the day outside of saying someone is crazy or somebody's a hothead. But it wasn't a lot of emotional intelligence back in the day. It was kind of taboo to speak on it a little bit. So I like the fact that we're having the conversations that we're having nowadays. I just want to know, what's the purpose of them? What's the end goal? How is it making anything better besides us all just running around complaining? That's all I see us do. Every topic, we just complain. What are we fixing? Why are we trying to fix this? And that's just a little stuff I like to touch on my YouTube channels, man. And once again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in with me again. I hope to see you all come back soon. Like, share, comment. I will leave everything down below that I have to get in contact with me. Social medias. I don't have a website yet, but maybe in the near future. Please tune back in. And like I said, I'm always open to any topics, comments, or any criticism. Please engage. I appreciate anybody. Thank y'all. I'm out.